A lot of people haven't been north of the Notches. It's a whole different experience.
A retired biochemist, Marianne Borowski is also a lifelong outdoors enthusiast, especially biking. She's also the visionary behind the Cross New Hampshire Adventure Trail, 83 miles from Vermont to Maine, making it now the longest biking trail in New Hampshire.
Well, I copied the idea, I admit. You know, good ideas are there to be copied.
She was inspired by the Cross Vermont Trail and thought, why not continue it on her side of the border?
I talked to them and I said, you know, is there anybody taking it across New Hampshire? And they said, well, no, we don't know of anybody. It would be great if someone would. The worst thing in the world is to have a, you know, bike route ends.
Borowski's strategy was as simple as it was cost-effective. Rather than build an entirely new trail, the Cross New Hampshire instead focuses on connecting already existing neighboring trails.
And it's stitching these all together to make a cross-state bicycle route.
So you're a master stitcher in some ways.
Yeah, there we go.
On an overcast October morning, we had a bit of a guided visit on the Cross New Hampshire Trail along the 40-mile western stretch between Woodsville and Jefferson. In Woodsville, a quick detour through 256 feet of history, the Haverhill Bath Bridge. Not only New Hampshire's oldest continuously operating covered bridge, but incredibly,
entirely original.
Right. It hasn't been destroyed by floods or fire. It's the same bridge that's been here. And a lot of covered bridges can't claim that.
What do you think the trick of this bridge is?
Somebody was a really good engineer.
History is also evident along the trail portions that were once working rail beds.
But it's easy to forget that, less than 40 years ago, this was still an active railroad through here.
Active railroad, yes, the B&M came through here.
Just like on the caboose.
That's right.
And in Lisbon, New Hampshire, on a former railroad bridge, a thrilling ride over the Ammonoosuc River. By lunchtime, we were in Littleton, where we made a short detour off the trail and onto Main Street, where the Littleton Diner has been a fixture since 1930. Loyal customers, this woman's been coming here not only all her life, but even before she was born.
My parents lived in Claremont, New Hampshire, and our whole family lived in Rumford, Maine. So
you were here in utero.
In utero, yeah.
Since 2003, it's been a family affair here, owned and run by Chris Williford, his wife Patty, and daughter Ellen. It'd be more dessert for me if we weren't getting back on our bikes. 5 miles further west, we jumped briefly off the trail in Bethlehem, where I was curious about a most unique library.
So the idea behind the Gear Library was to allow folks from the community or visitors to the area an opportunity to rent equipment. I think one of the things with outdoor activities is there is sometimes a high price of admission.
It's free. People just sign up online, then drop by to access the bikes or snow stuff in winter.
Libraries do have the issue of overdue books.
Yeah,
do you have overdue bikes?
No, people have been pretty good about it.
From Bethlehem, it was on to Jefferson and one of the prettiest sections of the trail, not to mention one of New Hampshire's truly hidden gems, the Pondicherry National Wildlife Refuge, where the trail winds first through a long, woodsy tunnel of sorts, but the landscape, as all along the trail, tends to change quickly.
It opens up all of a sudden, and there's marshes, beaver ponds, swamps, and open fields. So you have this, big sky feeling, and then pop back into the woods.
The trail, or trail network as it were, attracts more and more users of all types.
Families. I've had someone with a 7-year-old do this route. People do it with their dogs in a trailer. Some people just do sections of it.
Gained a new appreciation for a different perspective on the area. It's delightful.
That's for sure, especially here at a viewing platform right on the trail with a 180 degree of some stunning peaks.
That's the Kilkenny Range, the town of Jefferson, and over here.
Presidentials.
Presidentials, yeah. And right now we can see Madison. Jefferson is starting to disappear into the clouds atop, and Washington would be right next to it. Presidential view.
Got that right.
Between the lowering clouds and the falling light, the day itself was starting to disappear. What was clear, though, was what a wonderful new and expanded outdoor resource this trail is, and what an extraordinary achievement for a committed group of volunteers and the determined woman who's led them.
How does it feel to you personally to be out here and ride and see others enjoying this thing that was your vision?
It feels really good. People will write back and tell me about their trip and how much fun they had. It's quiet, it's not busy, it worked.
It most certainly has.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I want to go on that trail.
And for Marianne Borowski, creating the Cross New Hampshire Adventure Trail was really a labor of love. She has biked in 48 of the 50 states, and she still leads group rides throughout the Mount Washington Valley. It's incredible.
I love that. And you can access the trail from either direction, although she does recommend going from west to east. And if you complete the entire 83 miles, you become an end-to-ender, and you receive a patch.
Oh. That's nice. I was thinking about a medal, but I'll take a patch. Still ahead, a trip back in time to see an old friend.